what's a day look like in the life of a media director at Envision Horizons?
It's busy. There's lots of things going on. We get to do quite a bit of different tasks, so you never really get bored. You jump from one thing to another, try to stay on top of it. You get to work with great people. I think our people are one of the best things about what we've got here. And so every day's a little bit different. It's a wild ride, but I love doing it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say no day is like the last. There's client calls, there's biz dev, there's checking in with your specialists, checking your accounts. So every day is a little bit different. Every day is a little bit more exciting.
Wonderful. What is the most rewarding part about the work that you do?
For me, something I felt was lacking in past agency roles was just working with a bunch of really motivated, high-performing coworkers, and that I think is what has set Envision Horizons apart for myself. So getting to work with people who just want to do good by their clients on a day-to-day basis is what I really enjoy.
I would agree. I think it's just the elevated nature of what we can do. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room, and I think we've done a really great job of getting a ton of smart people. So we have experts in everything, but you're not always feeling like you're not challenged. And so I absolutely agree. The sort of high performing, really going after it, doing that next level to unlock the thing that takes just a little bit more work is a great part of it.
Awesome. And what do you think of Envision Horizons does differently versus other agencies that you've worked at before?
At Envision, we have a really highly collaborative environment. Everyone can kind of learn from other people's experiences. We've been doing this for a while, and so there aren't a ton of people who are doing this for the first time once you join. So you bring in with your own color and your experience, things that you've tried that work great, things that you've tried that really don't work. And so you can kind of cut through a lot of that uncertainty, and you really get to testing and proving things out. But that collaboration and working with other like-minded people is such a joy. It's really rewarding personally and professionally.
I think that Envision Horizons does a really great job of finding the right clients. So I have worked with, the 5-star, resume builders. I've worked with the high growth potential startups, but I think Envision does a great job of finding that middle ground and finding those clients that really want to lean in, that they trust you implicitly, and that they're a pleasure to work with. And that's really hard to find. That's really kind of the Bermuda Triangle of clients that I think Envision is always able to uncover.
Cool. For someone in the media space who's exploring the next step in their career, what stands out as the growth opportunities that they would gain in joining our team?
Well, as James was speaking to, I think the cross collaboration is key. Working on the media team, I think it could be easy to get siloed, but because Envision does such a great job of bringing teams together, client services, creative, so on and so forth, inventory, there's always that cross collaboration. So you're always learning. You're not just getting siloed into, kind of the swim lane of your role. So in that regard, I think there's always opportunity for growth.
Great.
Yeah, the different clients we get to work with make it really interesting too. You learn about categories you maybe wouldn't otherwise be in, and I mean, ads are always changing. So as soon as we get everything figured out with PPC, there's a lot more to learn with DSP. There are other ad channels that you can get to. By the time you've mastered all that, you go back to PPC and there's 10 new things to learn. So every day is kind of exciting because you can level up whatever interests you. You can chase that as far as you want, and there's a lot of support to specialize in something really small. But then, to Cate's point, you can work with the other teams and learn quite a bit about stuff that pertains to what you do, but maybe you don't have to do on an everyday basis.
Wonderful. And what's the team structure like? If someone who's maybe not worked in an agency before, how are things set up at Envision Horizons?
So we have pods, and we're working to gain that full pod alignment where you work with your dedicated group of account managers, account director, and media specialists. And the intention there is just to have some cohesiveness across teams, get to know the people that you're working with, get to better know the clients that you're working with. I find it really beneficial in that regard. You do get to really build those connections. You're not just kind of, working very casually with several different points of contact. James, if you want to expand.
Yeah, I think you're able to build a great sort of team environment.
Mm-hmm.
You start to really get to know each other on a deeper level when you're interacting with those people on not just your work, but also when we have full team things. To be able to have your people around, I think makes a huge difference. And you really start to generate like a tightness, and you can almost communicate without having to use a lot of words, which allows you to do a lot more.
Awesome. In terms of our tech, our established processes, the support team, any highlights that you would call out on those areas?
Ooh, yeah, this is a good one. One of the things I was most impressed with when I came to Envision Horizons was just the wealth of SOPs and processes that we had in place that enabled and empowered each new member to get themselves up to speed as quickly as possible and feel comfortable and empowered in doing so and throughout the process. That is definitely a point of differentiation, I would say, that makes Envision stand out. And there's also all of those touch points that we have with each team member, but it's really kind of the library or repository of resources that we've developed for not only new hires, but there are things that I go back and that I still refer to this day. So in that regard, I think the agency does a really great job.
And it's always growing. Our director is great about, if you say, I learned this cool new thing, like, let me show this about, like, to the team. He's like, yeah, let's talk about it. And then let's get it written down and put it down somewhere, because that knowledge repository is super important. And it makes it so much easier when we have someone join the team to be able to go through, and they can see all of our processes really clearly. And then if there's anything that might be missing, we can fill it.
If you had to pick 3 words to describe our culture, which 3 words would you pick to describe our culture at Envision?
Okay, inclusive, values-driven. That's 2.
I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
It's hyphenated.
And collaborative.
Awesome.
I would also say collaborative, high performing, and cutting edge.
Oh, that's a good one.
Awesome. Thank you guys for your time today.
Thank you.